After the battle of 2020, Crowder readies before the legions of Big Tech apply. Our Mug Club warriors are outnumbered and exhausted, but it is not fear that grips them, only a heightened sense of things. Cool air in their lungs, the wind sweeping the plugs which stand atop the head of the professed victor. The former vice president and would-be God King sits atop his throne as he speaks to an undefeated foe.
Crowder, despite your insufferable arrogance, the God King has come to admire your fighting spirit and your mugs. You could make a mighty ally, man, even in light of your continued insults, your horrid hate speech blasphemies. The Lord of Hosts is prepared to forgive all and more to reward your service. You fight for your channel, man. Keep it. You fight for your whole thing. Keep them too. Your victory will be complete if you but lay down your arms and kneel before your holy former vice president.
.com.
Yeah. That's a delicious sip. I just realized I had to turn down my headphones because I did an Alex Jones interview hit yesterday. And all the volume is just, it modulates everywhere.
It does.
So you were listening?
Yes. Yeah.
Mostly.
And by the way, the reason we run that intro again, of course, is the promo code. If you're watching on Rumble, you're listening on audio. Fight Like Hell is a promo code. You get $20 off if you join Mug Club. And if you don't want to, I understand. There's a full hour of additional show. Like today, we have the whole the long-standing John Travolta conspiracy.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with gay or Scientology, but I've talked about this many times.
There are more?
There's
I know.
more. There's
now
more.
I've
Do
piqued
it.
your curiosity. Like
goes
everyone goes
down
John
too
Travolta
deep, bro.
conspiracy. But
Yeah.
no, it's not gay or Scientology.
Huh.
Those things are proven.
Where am I going with this? Unless you're a Mug Club member. And, of course, you don't get any free stuff if We don't have you support. We don't have a foreign caliphate funding us. It's just
we don't.
mugs.
No matter
It's
what.
tough to compete against the foreign caliphate.
It is.
They've got, they've got Al Jazeera, whatever it is, Current TV, Clock Boy.
Is that terrorism television?
Effectively, yeah.
It looks like it.
Yeah, and then just what's about, they wouldn't say that, just like Clock Boy, when he put half a Phillips alarm clock in a suitcase, said it was science.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I love their not top 10. That's fantastic.
I mean, to them, that is science.
Right, and Fauci follows it. Is that his Samsonite? Ooh.
It was
so,
way off.
Speaking of following science, today we're going to talk about something that we definitely would not be able to talk about on YouTube, which is really a shame. Fauci, and it's tough to pin down because you've heard this claim from a bunch of people. You are 9 times as likely to die if you're unvaccinated. You're 20 times, 40 times. 57 times is the number they've been echoing constantly on CNN.
Yeah.
That's a number directly from Fauci's mouth, and it is completely untrue. And I will tell you this right now: we don't know exactly what the difference.
Jeez.
It just really seem loud here today.
No,
What a terrible time to sneeze.
Horrible time.
Everybody's going to think that I
Have the COVID.
I feel like that. If I sneeze on an airplane, I just feel like Anne Frank all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody just
Take his diary.
Yeah, get him.
It might lead us to the origins. Oh, Wuhan lab. Well, screw me. Who? Well, who funded it? Me?
oh no.
Nobody
Skunk
blessed
again.
me. You all cursed me.
Gesundheit.
Oh.
Thank you.
Gesundheit. I don't know what that
You're not going
means.
to kill all of us for that, are you?
No, I got a nice gesundheit.
You got a nice
So-
Gesundheit. Not
Nice.
me. So look, really quick, I do want to let you know, we cannot tell you exactly what the difference is, the rate between vaccinated and unvaccinated. No one can. However, there are a lot of studies. Fauci quoted one. We'll get into that study, and then I'll list you, I don't know, maybe a dozen more. We need to be able to have these discussions. If we're going to don't follow the science, as in Fauci. I think he's trademarked
Right,
that
yeah,
as
yeah.
his name, kind of like Cher. Then he's just going to be a symbol.
Was he a WWE wrestler?
Yeah. I'm the
already there.
science. People attack me because I have the truth. No, you have yourself throwing the worst pitch in a history framed as a baseball card on your desk. I don't necessarily know that you have the truth.
Here's my cone bra.
Yes. It ain't over until me sings. So we're going to be talking about that, and we have some other news. Not Superman, where they're removing the American way, but specifically the reaction from the left and Brian Stelter as to why he's okay with it. But first, Gerald A. is here with me. How are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay, man.
Yeah?
I fell asleep where I lay yesterday with food on me. I was so
nice.
Ah. By the way, how did it feel watching yourself break your femur again?
I can't watch it. The intro. I cannot watch it. I look away. I'll be in the car with my wife, and I'll be going, "You're thinking about breaking your knee again?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Which time?" I'm like, I don't know. It's times 3 through 6 were the worst.
Losing count now.
Quarter Black, how are you?
I'm good. I'm glad I got the BTS of that footage, by the way. I was
Dang.
filming and
Yeah.
I saw it happen. I was like, should I help? No, I better get this.
Oh, you BTS. I was lost. You and your urban lingo.
Right,
and
yeah.
Dave Landau has he has a California tour, October 25th in Pleasanton, 26th in San Jose, 27th in Irvine. How are you, sir?
Good, ahoy.
Good.
Ahoy, hoy. Then I will return to this very show, Tuesday, November 2nd.
So he won't be here. So we'll have some other folks. A surprise.
Uh-oh.
I'll tell you what, they're more of the quarter black demographic. So
Are they twins?
I have no idea.
Triplets?
Twins. Basil. Twins.
You going to bring your kids on the show?
Let's stop ruining surprises, okay? Let's stop.
I mean,
all right.
you gave it away.
That's true. So here is. I haven't seen this. We're going to leave this off beforehand, and then we're going to get to Brian Stelter. Guess. We have to guess
little bit of a game.
who this mysterious, I guess, masked man and Trump supporter who met with Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen. Right. So this
Right.
is a
I'm going to show you
guess.
the clip first.
Okay.
And then I'll give you 4 options.
All right, let's
who
go.
it could be.
Okay.
Is it that guy? You mean?
Yes. That's the mysterious person.
Who met with Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen?
That's right. Broad daylight.
That's a human.
Yeah, he looks like he was sent from the future to kill someone.
He looks like he's Vern Troyer on top of another little rascal.
All right. Who is it?
I have no
Is
idea.
it A, Ice Cube, B, Stefan, Stephen Baldwin,
Okay.
or C, Chris Pratt, or D, Kanye West? Who is it?
Ice Cube. Ice Cube has that weird sort of lens filter like skin.
Okay.
I'm going to go
Look at that.
That's the
Oh.
first.
It's a mask.
That's a mask. Well, yeah. Who's wearing the mask?
Well, it's got to be a black guy.
Who's under the mask?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I'm just. Why would you disguise yourself as a?
Why would you? There are plenty of reasons to disguise yourself as a white guy.
Yeah, come on.
Well,
But
this is I gotta go. Well, who
I
was?
said Ice Cube.
I'm gonna go. Not Kanye. Who was the other fella?
Stephen
Ice
Baldwin.
Cube, Stephen Baldwin, Chris Pratt, or Kanye.
It could be Stephen Baldwin.
Well,
Why
yeah.
would it be?
Yeah, you're right. He's not that good. I'm gonna go.
All affiliated
He's
with Trump in some
everywhere.
way.
You say his name in a
Yeah.
mirror 3 times, he appears.
I'm gonna go. Did you say Ice Cube?
Yeah.
Ice Cube A.
Oh, okay. I was envisioning Ice-T.
Oh, I was thinking Ice-T too. No, I changed my mind.
I was gonna say Ice Cube. A little.
Yeah, never mind. I was saying Ice-T because Ice-T always, when he shows up in commercials, like it's almost like the where you have to do like the teeth whitening shade strip.
Yeah.
You never know with Ice-T.
Plus, if this is New
He's a
York,
little
he's
light
already
skinned.
there solving murders.
Right.
That's
yes, exactly.
true.
All right.
Doesn't
Who
have
do you
the
think it
time.
is, Gerald?
I can't answer. I already know.
Oh, you already know
you
who
already
it is?
know?
So you
All
guessed
right.
Stephen Baldwin, and I guessed.
I did not.
Yeah, you did.
Also guess.
It's
hey,
not Chris.
are you changing it?
Yeah. What did you give me real quick? And then we
All right. Ice Cube, Stephen Baldwin, Chris Pratt, Kanye.
Oh, Ice-T's not even an option. I'm gonna go Kanye.
All right, Kanye.
Kanye, you are correct.
What?
It was
No
the
idea.
Yee.
Ice Cube wouldn't. He'd just be him.
Well, you know.
Why is he meeting
Do you know how I figured
It's
out
mysterious.
how to get
This
so
is the
good at
second
guessing?
meeting.
How?
Yeezy taught me. People
Why?
who have listened to my Twisted Dark Fantasy know exactly that reference. If you don't, it's on the B-sides, you white bitch.
Why is the Yeezus dressing like a cancer patient?
He's trying to stay under the radar.
Yeah.
Meeting
He
with
he walked up to the maitre d' like, yes, for 2 under Make-A-Wish, huh?
Yeah. My name is Jonathan White.
Now I'm gonna walk to the table.
My name is Guy, last name White,
Yeah, he just used the alias
I know
Stephen
you.
Baldwin.
Stefan Baldwin.
Stefan, that's
Why
true.
is he meeting with Trump's former lawyer that's like dishing on Trump?
Who knows, man?
I don't
know.
understand.
They should remake a Family Matters just so the cool Stephen Baldwin is Stefan.
Yes.
This is the second time he's had a meeting with him.
With Michael Cohen.
Wearing this mask, I believe.
Yeah, well, you know what? He writes great music, but let's not act as though he's the most stable of folk.
Eccentric, you
Right.
could say.
Okay. So my question again, by the way, to you can smash
Is
that
it like
Rumble button
fish
really
sticks?
quickly, and I want to hear from you. Do you actually believe that you're 57 times more likely to die or be hospitalized if you are unvaccinated? That's the number that's been touted.
Yeah.
I want you to comment before we do the segment. What do you believe? And then we'll, provide some information. But it's always interesting to see the before and after. So here's something I want to get to really quickly. Brian Stelter, of CNN, he was on another show, not his own show, to discuss. He could barely contain his excitement at the first portion about the bisexual Superman. And then after that, he was talking about, they've changed Superman, Truth, Justice, the American Way
Right.
to a better way forward. A better tomorrow.
A better tomorrow.
A better tomorrow. And look, what this is the trick that the left pulls, where they try and say, look, they're covering us on Fox. Can you believe that the right is upset about this? I can't believe they're covering this as they cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, this is so dumb.
They're gonna have
So dumb, they're
stories for days.
fake culture wars. Yeah, no. Why would people possibly react to a leftist on CNN with a lisp and a handbag telling them how they should change their comic book heroes?
Totally straight.
Yeah, you haven't touched a nerve there with Americans who hate you.
It's a European purse pack for men.
Yes, it's a European carry-all. Yeah, what are you carrying? Tampons? Okay.
Oh.
So for himself.
He can't bleed.
He has nosebleeds. He has. I assume
He
he has
wants to
absent
believe.
seizures. How else could you be that dumb? Okay, let's go to
Bibs
Brian.
for his service.
Yes,
Sorry.
Brian Stelter clip.
Batman and Superman, and I say this as a Marvel fan, Batman and Superman are DC heroes. They're different because they're decades older, and I think they also represent something different in American history. And Superman very much a messiah figure. Batman represents the true vigilante. So people get more worked up about them than I think other superheroes. And Superman, they're all worked up about.
Here
First
comes
of
the
all,
dumb.
the new Superman, bisexual, now changing the motto from truth, justice, and the American way to truth, justice, and a better tomorrow.
Yes.
That's days
Yes.
of programming on Fox.
Bisexual.
Tomorrow, yes. Now, the American way part of the phrase came during World War II.
So listen.
That was a logical move when, there was this world war. I think now the message is this is a global franchise. This is a franchise looking to the future. And that kind of ethno-nationalism, perhaps is not the right style going forward. I do think it's partly about appealing to a global box office. But hey, who can argue for against a better tomorrow? What's so bad about a better tomorrow?
I can.
sounds kind of vague and simple to me.
Ethno.
Yeah,
Are you
vague and
against a
simple,
better
just the way
tomorrow?
Brian likes
Are you
it.
against a better
Yeah, he's going to go home to Simple
Tonight
Jack against
at
his
9
headboard.
p.m.
Okay, so here's the issue there where he goes, well, who can be against a better tomorrow? No. It's that you removed something else to replace it. Now, here's the deal. He tries to equate ethno-nationalism with nationalism. You know what? It's true. Superman, an American hero. This was designed for the United States of America. So there should be a nationalist theme to this superhero, especially like you talked about in World War II. Here's the thing where he says, it made sense back then with ethno-nationalism. Guarantee you, Brian Stelter, if you were around back then, you wouldn't have thought that made sense. Do you know how I know? Neville Chamberlain. There were plenty of people across the globe, Neville Chamberlain, who was replaced with Winston Churchill, by the way. Many people don't know this. He wanted to appease Hitler. He was saying, you know what? We need a global economy. We should all be on we should all be on the same page. We should all be together for a better tomorrow. And disgraced Churchill, who people had tossed aside, they said, you know what? We need a hard ass at this point. And that's his famous quote, you can't negotiate with a tiger when your head is in its mouth. So here's something else today. Back then, sure, it made sense. You wouldn't have said so, but let's assume a lot of Americans thought it made sense that, hey, truth, justice, and the American way. What was that saying? What are you replacing? That was saying the American way is better than the Nazi way. The American way is better than the Japanese imperialist way. So what does that mean today? Hey, unless we're all on the same page, it's still relevant. I still believe the American way is better than the Chinese way. It's better than the Russian way. How about that? Better than the Canadian way. This is the issue there. Well, you know what? Who can be against a better tomorrow? You know what? You would have supported a better tomorrow with the Nazis back then and the axis of evil, and you support it today if you don't even acknowledge the genocide of people that is taking place in China. We're not just talking about the Uyghurs. Let's add on top of that people who are arrested just for reading the Bible, which, by the way, if you check next to your hotel bedstand that you rent by the hour, you might find one once in a while. You read a few verses.
By the way, he didn't even talk about, too, like when you're talking about China, you just made the point. I think it's probably for a global box office. Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the global box office? Please tell us. Is it Europe? No, it's not Europe because we don't really care about movies in Europe. It's China. You had a great segue into talking about how Superman would be fighting everything China does now.
Right.
But we can't release that movie because it's too real to life.
Well, also, it would be really tough. You'd have to have all the villains on Apple boxes.
Well, he might miss them.
He'd have to punch down.
Was he throwing a leg kick? No, that's a head kick. What are you talking about?
No.
You can't see the difference? I don't know.
It's a kidney punch? No,
that's the thing. You used to have to do the splits to fight your supervillain do a head kick. With the Chinese, it's just like kicking a tin can down the road.
Boy, Wolverine's going to leave a lot of claw marks in men's backs. You're right, though. Everything, we were talking about this yesterday, though, how everything's literally becoming a Family Guy episode.
Right. Yeah.
There's an episode where Silver Surfer, his wife's like, where were you last night? Playing cards? And then you see the Silver Surf Ice go to the XXX gay gym. And she's like, oh, is that where you were? He's like, well, at least they know how to please a man. Oh, walk away. Like that's these are cartoons.
Right. Yes, they're cartoons, but the issue here is they want to get rid of anything patriotic. And look,
what about Captain America?
Yeah, well, they changed his outfit.
He's
it's less
gay, too.
American.
I know. What?
that's right. He's gay
now,
too.
Yeah, there's a gay Captain America.
Yeah, because that was accepted during World War II when the guy who invented the computer was chemically castrated.
Yeah.
He broke the Nazi code.
Yeah, still waiting for the gay Captain China, and he was electrocuted. Oh, wow, that was fast.
That's weird.
Wow.
How about the gay Muslim? Oh, crap. Nope. He's not going to get up.
Flying is not his
Yeah.
He's definitely
He's able
not
to fall. He's able to plummet to his death in a single bound.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
In a single throw.
Well,
technically,
you know what? When he hit the ground, he was faster than a speeding bullet. By God.
He certainly was.
It's a bird. It's a plane. Oh, it's Richard Simmons in a turban. Jeez, that's just.
Yeah, that pavement must be made
Let's sweat.
of kryptonite.
Oh, it's a man who's free to do something here.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
yes.
But he's dead.
This idea of the whole "we're global citizens, we are the world." No. Look, it never works. It never, unless we're all on the same page. This is the problem that I have in the United States. Let's find common ground. All right. Before we get to the United States finding common ground with people who don't want the flag, who don't want the anthem, who hate this country, let's be clear.
Yeah.
Leftists are not as American as conservatives. I mean that. Why? You don't like the flag. You don't like the anthem. You don't like the First Amendment. You don't like the Second Amendment. We'll go through all of them in another segment some other day.
Yeah.
I will say you are distinctly un-American. But let's go to international borders. How can we be on the same page with China? How can we be on the same page with countries who kill their people for speaking out against the government, for speaking freely? How can we be on the same page with Western Australia?
Yeah.
Where they fine you $5,000, they take your guns away, and they haul you to jail if you don't take this new medicine. Come on. No, we're not all on the same page. Let's acknowledge it. That's what nationalism is. I am not Team China. I am not Team Australia at this point, Western Australia. I don't fully understand I don't have a topographical map.
Right, yeah.
I assume somewhere there's spiders.
They're everywhere.
You know how I know that they are just whores after money right now on the left and they're not principled at all? They've been wringing their hands over Saudi Arabia for decades, telling us, how in the world could we possibly do business? How can we have an airbase there? How can we take oil from these people? How in the world can we do this? It's like, it's like an East Hampton clam bake in Saudi Arabia compared to what they're doing in China right now.
Hey,
I mean, come on.
Oh, sorry. In case you were wondering what gay Captain America looks like.
Yeah. There he is.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and Dave wasn't off. Dave wasn't off. Wolverine also bisexual in the comics.
No, he's not.
Did they have to make gay Captain America so gay? Couldn't they have made him like a Rock Hudson, Danny Kaye gay?
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of gay Captain America, look at CNN.
Oh.
There he is.
Gay Captain
Back from his paternity leave in the Bahamas.
Oh, thank God.
Nobody noticed.
Where'd you take care of your newly born child, Antigua? Oh, yeah, okay. I guess everybody does that. Yeah. How was your chest feeding? All right, let's see what he has to say.
Sales boom, and that is true. But that was expected. Folks were talking about a Biden boom into this year. There was an enormous amount of stimulus money put into the system. I wonder, should the administration have been better prepared for this?
Well, we've been working this issue all year.
No, you haven't. You haven't been there for 2 months. You have not been there for 2 months.
Other than the last 2 months.
The private sector was not expecting the speed of the economic recovery that we've been experiencing. You add on to that the fact that we have some issues with our infrastructure.
I'll tell you, I've been off for 2 months, and boy, is my jaw tired.
Everything that guy just says is bullshit.
By the way, just to be clear, they're trying to argue now that this is because of an economic boom under Biden. Well, what are they doing?
No.
They're comparing the growth to 2020 when the Democrats forcefully shut down the government. We are not to pre-COVID levels. Let's be really clear. So right now, if they say, I don't have the numbers in front of me, it's a 14% growth. Really, the reason for the bare shelves, which, by the way, don't you love how they move the goalposts? At first, they said, it's a lie. It's fake news. There are no bare shelves.
Yeah.
And then the Washington Post, they have an opinion piece that says, it's time to lower your expectations.
Right.
You've been spoiled. And now they say, well, the reason that the shelves are empty is because we're having such an economic boom. Okay, that's how you know it's not true, because the story has changed 3 or 4 times before we've gotten to Mr. Mom himself here on CNN, who's discussing the non-work that he did. No, we're comparing the growth right now to COVID levels in the middle of the pandemic, around the time where, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, right? Well, of course, you're now going to see an increase. But does anybody out there actually believe that we're at an economic boom? And not only that, this is how out of touch the Democrats are. I really hope that they never get elected again. What's the price of gas for you right now? We're not just talking about steel and lumber, right? Because we're talking about transportation. Effectively, these are just blockages that are created. And I don't know how much of that has to do with his paternity leave. I think he's relatively inconsequential.
Thank goodness.
But it's everything. Gas,
Housing.
steel, housing, wood, right?
construction.
Beef is up, I think, 19%.
Yep. Yeah.
Milk, everything that affects you.
No, his beef was up 100% during the break.
Yeah.
At attention.
I'm sorry. 2 beef
I'll be
patty,
over
special
here being
sauce, lettuce,
lowbrow.
cheese, and Pete on a sesame seed.
Oh, there we go. By the way, I love
Have it your way.
the economic.
Have me your way.
Sesame seed buns.
I have medication
Very
for
messy,
that.
yeah. The economic boom, I'm sure, is responsible for literally hundreds of ships sitting outside of ports right now, not being unloaded because of people not being there. I'm sure it's because of the factories that closed down in China. That's what you told us.
Well, they
you
just
told us
had
the supply chain was interrupted, factories closed down, and I'm like, there's container ships for months sitting offshore right now, not being unloaded. You're having to step in Los Angeles and make them run 24 hours a day, and it's still not going to be sorted out until next year. Yeah. You're doing a bang-up job, guys.
They just had a lower third that said we have a shortage in drivers. Why? Because they shut down the training facilities.
Yeah.
So we don't have any more drivers because they're not getting trained.
Let me ask you this. You think it's going to get better when you have a third of them walk off like the Chicago police force because they don't want to forcibly inject experimental medicine? It's never their fault. It's never the fault of anyone in this administration. Look, it is black and white. Wherever you line up, let's get rid of the social issues here for a second. The economy was black and white with 3 years under Trump versus Biden. Come on. I just think it's one of those things. I don't need to throw a bunch of sources at anybody, even if you're a leftist, even if you're a classical liberal at this point. You're living now.
You have eyeballs. Right?
How's unemployment doing, by the way?
I don't know. Let's ask Mr. Bottom.
I thought that was a sign of a good economy. Unemployment numbers. I thought that was something we tracked. I don't know.
Something about labor force participation rate. I don't know. He's but look, he takes pictures at the mall.
I'm Power Bottom.
Yes,
that's a superhero.
That's a superhero. Oh gosh, Pete.
You should see how he stops a train.
This man is supremely unqualified. Well, you know, like when Superman or Spider-Man stop a train and they dig in their heels and go, he puts his back to the train.
Yeah. There's two trains speeding towards each other. Perfect.
Sounds fun.
Could we have them meet right at, that part of where the track can shift, and so you could just move the trains back and forth?
Yeah, we can.
A little bit. Train movement, and one of those things that does this, can we do that? I'm going to sit on it like a seesaw. Hold on, let me just adjust my seat.
Power Bottom, it's just that we keep checking and you're the one moving the tracks.
Whoopsie!
Yeah, you're like Mr. Glass. You're causing the accident.
I guess my 2.5 years of paternity leave made me a little rusty.
Trombone.
Oh, gosh. You know what? I think, maybe someone can tie him down to a train track like Boris and Natasha.
That'd be nice.
You'd like that.
I'll save you, Pete. No. Bunking's in trouble. I must save him. Oh, that's gross.
The Russian chick loves him.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, Pete, why do you always take off your pants when you are tied to train track? It is so unnecessary.
It makes it gross.
It makes it gross. Boris, why do you spend so much time with him when you are not at home? It's paternity leave, Natasha.
Damn it, Natasha. We are friends. Once a year we meet on train tracks.
Yes. What do you do, Boris and Pete Buttigieg? We stop trains. It's for fun. Okay. Oh, by the way, while we're talking about closeted homosexuals, Trudeau, Prime Minister Trudeau,
perfect,
has had to. And by the way, I don't mean it as a pejorative. Just to be clear, people are like, you mean it as a pejorative? No. I mean, closeted homosexual is an upgrade from Mr. Blackface. Let's be clear.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
There are worse things we can say.
I want him to come out of the closet to be his full self.
Yes.
Yeah, when your superhero is the name of a Richard Pryor album.
Yes. So Trudeau had to apologize for skipping the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation in honor of the First Nation people. I know, to those still saying, Native Americans. Okay, just to be clear, now the term is First Nation. So he had to apologize because he instead was vacationing at a seaside mansion. Here, the Prime Minister of Canada, our neighbors to the north, not a country to be taken seriously, not a practical joke that's gone on for far too long, is here apologizing.
I have many regrets about
yes, you do.
September 30th and my decision to travel, but I also regret that my choice on the 30th overshadowed the event that we held on the 29th
That's her name.
on the Hill, where the National Council for Truth and Reconciliation came together with elders and survivors who shared their stories, and for the first time ever, raised the national flag of truth and reconciliation.
I've never seen anyone more ashamed of this country.
Yeah. Instead of talking about truth and reconciliation.
Halo?
Well,
talked about me.
Lucky for you, Mr. Blackface, the First Nations people have 50 words for asshole.
What does he mean? Apologizing. It's hilarious.
That's all he does.
Has Canada been killing First Nations people like recently? He said meeting with survivors. I'm like, what the hell have you guys been doing in Canada?
Well, they were auditioning for The Revenant at the Weinstein Studios.
How come every woman in Canada dresses like Punky Brewster?
Yes. Don't you love her plastic locksmith, keys that she has there? You know when they cut the plastic keys to do a copy? That's what she's wearing there. She's like,
it's from my people. I locked myself out of my Jeep. Cherokee. It's a Cherokee.
Yeah.
So.
It's a compass.
Yeah, it's
something we didn't have.
They didn't have enough chipsets for the Cherokee, so I was forced in shame to purchase a Patriot. The irony is rich.
All right, so we actually have, though, here, he was there to apologize. We have our Indigenous correspondent on the line to give his reaction, I believe. Do we have him yet? Yep, to give his reaction. All right, Chief.
Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
I am Indigenous American, not Indigenous Canadian.
Oh, well.
But I did speak to my cousin, Dances with Poutine, and he informed me that Trudeau didn't RSVP to smoke signal invite for celebration.
Well, that's a problem.
Instead, he vacationed in 14-room teepee. But Trudeau did offer many apologies.
Okay.
Unfortunately, though, when he came to offer apologies, he was wearing red face and a Cleveland Indians jersey. Pardon my language, but Indigenous Canadians think he is a real host.
That's enough. That's enough of that. He's not. I don't know. We need to find out.
Vulgar.
What tribe he's
mouth.
No.
I don't know what tribe he's with. When did the indigenous or the who cares?
I don't know.
I don't know the words to ask a question.
It's First Nations now.
No, hold on. First Nations. They weren't a nation.
No, and by the way, I think the Vikings would have had something to say about that.
Yes.
Hey, we're polishing their horns. Hey, well, we were first. No.
Do you see what we crossed the ocean in? You wouldn't have made it.
Crying out loud.
When did we go to Canada? Not we. I guess we didn't, but it is pretty white up there.
Yeah, it's very white.
True. Yeah.
I mean,
it's incredibly white, and French Canadians are incredibly racist. So maybe that's where the guilt comes from.
That is true.
Yeah, they really are. They don't like the Haitians.
I think we should just take over.
Who likes the Haitians?
No, what's funny is when the Haitians.
It's a great place to go if you want to enjoy a boy without a condom.
Yes, well, absolutely. Their tourism campaign has been very effective. Pure Haiti. Yeah.
Pure Haiti.
Just time it between the earth.
I don't know how they got Tim Allen to do the commercials.
Yeah. Do you remember as a boy where you watched your father be killed?
Yes. Or watch the foundation of your house crumble beneath you.
Look at your belly covered in flies. It's
For a
distended.
feeling. That's pure Haiti. So, but French Canadians don't like the Haitians because they created these discriminatory laws to try and preserve what they call pure laine. For people who don't know this, it means pure wool. They wanted pure French blood, European blood in French Canada. They basically were trying to expel a lot of the English people, and so that backfired on the racist French Canadians, and it encouraged a bunch of Haitian migrants. And so then they're like, "Oh my God, we have to change the law now. There's so many black." So, hey, by the way. Support the show. Go to crowdershop.com before we continue. That's where you can go if you don't want to join Mug Club or you can't afford it. Just, buy a little bit shirts that we have Ranger pennies back. Best way to support the show. Tune in.
Yeah.
Monday through Thursday, live 10 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to be taking your chat a little later on. Here's another one. San Francisco, before we get to the... gosh, we have a lot to get to today.
Yeah, we do.
San Francisco, the In-N-Out burger chain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. Because of this story, I ate In-N-Out last night.
Did you? I saw that.
Yeah, it was all right. It was fine.
I had it 2 nights ago.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like In-N-Out?
I do.
It's good. I don't have anything against it. I don't love it. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat Whataburger, though.
Shake.
Hey, that's right.
Yeah, it's a secret menu. It makes you feel like you're in, the Freemasons or Rotary Club, whatever the hell it is.
The fries still suck.
Did you see? I ordered it animal style. I'm one step away from the Mormon Temple Baptism for the Dead room. I'm in the inner circle. Okay, we get it. It's a secret menu.
Well, it's like animal style. It's like, could you not cover my burger in Thousand Island dressing and onions?
Right. Yeah.
Like, we'll ruin your burger if you know the secret.
If you know the secret.
Yeah. If you order it secret style, I take a shit in it for you.
Yeah. Really, thank you very much.
Double secret menu.
How do you feel about raw pork products?
Salmonella, here you go.
Yeah, anybody will do anything to your food if you ask for it. It's not a secret menu.
I want them to come up with the strange animal style.
Yes.
Then we could get behind that.
Strange
no
animal
pun
style.
intended at all.
Loud Earth Cutter Burger.
This could backfire.
Could I get no pickles? He knows our code.
Just Benedict Cumberbatch like, oh no!
I'll never use this wiener again.
A few people who saw that film, the name escapes me.
The chemical.
The coder guy.
It's,
anyway, who cares?
He invented the computers.
I don't know. He decoded this thing with the Nazis, and he was gay.
Big smart guy.
Yeah.
He helped us win the war.
Yeah,
not Benedict Cumberbatch, the guy he played.
Right, yeah. Well, Benedict Cumberbatch helped us win the war on sexy.
Oh.
It was the imitation game.
The imitation game.
I knew it was something game.
Where for the first 2/3, he imitates a straight guy.
Yeah. Not very well.
So, San Francisco In-N-Out, they've been in a battle with the city over, let me just let them tell you the story, vaccine requirements.
Brian, right now, this
that is an
Fisherman's Wharf
aggressively Asian face.
is open,
Easy.
but only
It is,
for
I
to-go
mean, it just means if
orders.
you're
Take a
gonna be a
look at
skier,
that
it'd be
sign
like a
on the
black
door.
diamond, you
It
have
says
to drop it on
indoor
a chopper.
dining is unavailable at this time, and that's because the city's Department of Public Health said In-N-Out is not complying with its health order to check for proof of
Where's Drew
vaccination
Barrymore
from
and Cameron
customers.
Diaz?
It was not denying entry to those without proper documentation. Now, the city confirmed it closed this location temporarily last Thursday. In-N-Out said
The city
that while
confirmed that it
posted
closed a
signage
private
to
business
display
for not
local
acting
health
like the health, for not
requirements,
acting like the
it would not
FDA.
comply with what it called the requirement to act
the
as
worst
the
looking In-N-Out.
vaccination police.
By the way, the reason I say that is because, usually with the reporters, they're kind of Americanized Asian. So I think it's a good thing.
No, it's fantastic.
Culture. It's a good thing. It's full Asian.
That's a good thing. I wish she would have kept her fan.
Yeah, a little bit
Be
of
a geisha.
dancing. Well, look, it looks hot.
That's
It looks
her
like
last
it's
name, though,
hot.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's the
I'm
thing.
Wong Geisha.
People have been making the comparison. They go, "Oh, really? In-N-Out? Do they make their employees wash their hands?" I mean, I wouldn't even say this is a straw man. If there was an even dumber piggy who made his house out of something weaker than straw, it's like if it was like Origami Man.
The Cotton Candy Man.
Yeah, Cotton Candy Man, exactly. Which, by the way, the little pigs, that was a horrible, it's like, the third pig had to be really pissed off with them. Can we come over? Can we surf on your couch? You built your house out of straw, okay? You made your straw bed, lie in it, okay? Let him huff and puff, and you're dead. I don't like dealing with deadbeats. The point is here, straw man, it's the same as washing hands. You think that forcibly injecting medicine that has never been used or approved until less than a year ago? You think that's the same as making people wash their hands for No, of course not. And of course, the government doesn't have the right to step in and tell In-N-Out what they can and can't enforce when it is entirely out of their purview. It's never been in their purview, and you're now changing the rule book so that somebody can conduct business. I love that In-N-Out, well, the burgers are okay. I will purchase more In-N-Out just because they told the city of San Francisco to stuff it high and hard, which they liked, which is a problem. There's no winning.
And it's a really bad comparison anyway. It's not like you're saying that their employees have to do something. You're saying that every customer does. So it'd be like posting a sign outside and saying every customer who enters has to wash their hands before they enter. It's a really bad comparison. We're like, oh, you make the employees. No, it's talking about customers. By the way, if they want to do this, they can close the dining room, they can stay open, and they can bring your food outside to you. Mission accomplished, problem solved. I'm sure San Francisco doesn't want that either, though, because it's about power play.
How are you going to blow a house down? A wolf ain't got lips.
That's what you would think.
Yeah.
He finds, the thing is, wolves find a way.
Oh, well.
Do they?
Pete Buttigieg blew my house down.
Yes, he did. He did it after stopping 2 trains.
I can't.
With single rum.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, why?
I hate being alive.
Yeah, I know.
Stupid.
Well, San Francisco, it's like we now return to 8 million homeless people on the street.
Well, that's a good. You know what though? That's the silver lining in San Francisco. You can't go to In-N-Out because the government takes their role seriously. So you have to find other family-friendly activities in which to take part.
What's going on here?
Is that mass theft?
Oh,
he looks like he paid.
Someone call gay Superman.
Big sale.
Black Friday.
They all paid. Where are the bags?
Yeah. That guy pulling a desktop from 1978.
Where's Captain America when you need him?
He's at the Folsom Street Fair.
Yeah, he's blowing a guy.
With Superman.
Sir, we don't care if you steal, but no bikes in the store.
Please.
Still, this is
totally
nice.
normal.
This is wonderful.
Wow.
But try and get a double-double and they'll slam your ass in jail.
Hey, white bum, call your dad.
What's that?
Is that two people?
I don't know.
That's one person.
That's one person?
One lady.
That's one person.
No,
that's one lady.
Just doing her morning kegels.
Yeah.
She looks like she is doing her Cirque du Soleil routine but forgot her sash.
I think we can just call it circus at that point.
Yes. Help! Somebody throw some peanuts, please. Help her. She's screaming for help.
What an awful
I can't
city.
get up.
How much?
She lay there like a slug. It's her only defense.
Can you imagine walking out of your $20 million house and just seeing this?
Imagine being a real estate agent. Like, and this is wonderful. You're right next to the Presidio, and that is 2 men screwing and pooping at the same time.
Yes.
Well, it's a multifaceted neighborhood.
Oh, as you see, you get a view of the pool, which has bodies and feces floating in it.
Yes,
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
What's nice is sometimes if you just look right, the feces look like bodies.
Yeah.
Yes, remember, wear thick soles. A lot of needles.
Yeah. We pass them out for free.
Might I recommend the Timberlands?
Yes.
Steel toe as well. Yes, very, very helpful.
Here's a Red Wing catalog. I suggest you look it over.
Steel toe for defense in many ways.
Who's that naked lady laying on the ground? Oh, that's Laura. She's a great person.
Yes,
Love
yes.
the soul.
She's my secretary.
Yeah. She is. Oh boy. Well, she was really a force to be reckoned with in Vegas. But then. All right.
Then there was
She
that
moved
accident.
here.
Getting into sub Cirque du Soleil genres. It's a genre.
Yeah.
Spelled E-A, the French version. You know what? Who cares? Let's move past Travis Strait. We're going to talk about Travis Strait. We'll talk about it again tomorrow because I'm sure there will be developments. I really hope that we didn't get him in trouble being on our show.
No,
but
we love it.
he's trending right now because he's doing the right thing. He's doing the exact same thing that Dave is doing.
Yeah.
He's doing the exact same thing that San Francisco In-N-Outs are doing. Just saying, it is not my job to enforce a mandate on people. This is the issue. You will be made to care. All right, look, my body, my choice. Well, hold on a second. Not if you're a business of over 100. All right, are you an artist? Are you performing? We're going to demand that you enforce the mandate somehow. And are you a business? We're going to demand that you enforce it on your customers somehow. Whoa. I thought you said it was a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Why don't you just let us die off? Which brings us to our next segment, because this is how they try and this is how they tried to scare you.
Yeah.
It was a pandemic of the unvaccinated. I thought, great. Roll the dice. Republicans will never win again, right? Because you were saying that it was mostly Republicans who were vaccine hesitant. Maybe it changed once you realized that Black Americans don't trust you either, Democrats, and like, oh my gosh, we're going to lose a portion of our base. We lost a portion of them to vote for Trump. Now they don't trust us because we're trying to forcibly inject them. What do we do? Let's switch the rhetoric on vaccines. So. Oh gosh, I forgot we have the January 6th committee thing too.
Oh yeah.
Do we need to hit that? Do we think? I think you guys already know about the January 6th. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump is suing the January 6th committee over requesting documents. Right, and to give you an idea, this is what you've heard. You've heard January 6th, most violent day in our history. The only person who was murdered was Ashley Babbitt. Whether you think she should have been crawling through the Capitol through a window or not, I don't think she deserved to be murdered.
Right.
And if you watch the tape, it looks a lot like murder. Looks a lot like somebody saw, took aim, and fired. Anyway, the point is...
At best, manslaughter.
At best. At absolute best. You've been told it was the most violent day in history, that it was planned by Donald Trump, the most free and fair and secure election of all time. Therefore, we need the biggest trial of all time. It's going to make O.J. look like Child's Play, which is still pretty rough. Chucky, but does doing a remake with Saki. So here's the thing. Here's what's actually going on. What he is suing for. This is what they are requesting. Anything he might have communicated about the election system. So let me give you this really quickly. This committee, they are requesting all documents discussing election fraud in any way. So that's at any point in time.
Yeah.
All mail-in ballot related communications at any point in time. In other words, if Donald Trump was saying, hey, you know what's going on in Pennsulvania where they're doing something unconstitutional, all of that communication, texts, emails, everything they want.
What that also means is that they have to go through all of the other communications.
All of the other private communications. All election machine communications. Anything related to election machines. All communications, appointments, and resignations. Well, then why even have the other categories? Because now you just have this broad one that says absolutely everything.
All of it.
And then, of course, all documents and communications that occurred on January 6th, regardless of any content whatsoever. And of course, Donald Trump said, hey, Joe Biden, some of these you can seal under, as a president because these are in the National Archives. And Joe Biden said no. So there's plenty of precedent for that. Donald Trump didn't remember when he released all of Obama's emails?
No.
And the issue here is he's saying no, under executive privilege. I do not have to do this.
Right.
I do not have to give you all of these documents. I was the president of the United States. At the very least was.
Yeah, but so that's the thing. Executive privilege doesn't go to former presidents. It's only the current president of the United States has the right to do that. And typically presidents do that unless it's extreme circumstances, which these are absolutely not.
Well, I think he's arguing that I still have executive privilege. What? I'm looking at you, Philly and Detroit. Read between the lines. Okay. So let's also look at this if this is a real trial or a sham trial. The committee members appointed by Nancy Pelosi. Right away, your antenna should go up.
Unbiased?
Adam Schiff. He was the orchestrator of the Russian, you remember the Russian collusion hoax.
Yeah.
Jamie Raskin, head of the impeachment case against Trump. Adam Kinzinger voted for Trump's impeachment, and he cried like a bitch over January 6th. And then, of course, Liz Cheney. I don't need to explain it. And the ones who were rejected were all 5 Republican members proposed by Kevin McCarthy. Jim Jordan, he objected to the presidential results. Troy Nehls, Jim Banks, who also objected. Kelly Armstrong from North Dakota. Rodney Davis from Illinois. The point here, and they tried to hold Steve Bannon in a contempt of court for failing to appear, or sorry, contempt of Congress. Oh my gosh, that's
all the things.
The point is, this is an absolute sham right now of a trial. Okay, let's be clear about this. Where are these national trials for billions of dollars in damages and thousands of casualties over the summer? Hey, how about just the trial? Just the trial for the amount of people shot in the face in Chaz. Let's just take a few blocks and more people were murdered.
Well, in their defense, if you look at San Francisco, it's not over yet.
That's true.
It's still going, yeah.
It's an ongoing crime.
Yeah, we got to wait till it finished. Like January 6th was cut and dry.
Right.
The day.
And now they're going after Bannon, demanding he appear. And actually, I think, is it on CNN right now? They're actually covering the committee's strategy meeting.
And we're going to give you a fair trial, followed by a first-class hanging.
Well, I don't know. CNN,
That's cut and dry.
I don't know. At what point are they considered opinion journalism?
Yeah.
Seems fair. I'm just glad our tax dollars are going to this.
Yeah.
I'm just glad there's a January 6th committee.
Still. Oh.
Which worst attack on democracy in history other than the bombings several times of the Capitol.
I bet you Pelosi spikes the punch.
I don't know what the left's obsession is with shitty insurrectionists.
She's a drunk.
Guy Fawkes, however you pronounce it in English.
Right.
Do you guys realize that he was basically pushing for a religious oligarchy and he sucked at making bombs?
And he failed.
I don't know what oligarchy means.
I don't either. I was hoping no one noticed.
Let's not further discuss it.
Well, the funny thing, he wasn't a pro-democracy terrorist. When people act like, look, do you know what he was fighting? He would have. Do you realize he would have had Brian Stelter hanging from the gallows because of his lisp?
Well, then he'd have
I'm on his team then.
Remember. I mean, okay, if that's the way you want to go. It's just like there's just no understanding of history. That's why they say the American way is bad, and Anonymous puts on these masks of some guy who absolutely would have had them thrown off a boat and keel-hauled because of their internet browser history. All right. So let's go to the vaccine thing. Okay. So I asked you guys to comment if you're watching live. I will probably read your chats, but also you can comment below on Rumble. We can't discuss this on YouTube. Want to see what you know about the rates of death and hospitalizations with vaccines, and if you've bought what the media has told you. Now, the number, and this is how this segment started to be clear. I had been spending a lot of time, and Tokunawan can tell you this. I was going to the producer saying, where is Fauci getting this number? Yeah. I've heard this number. I've heard it 9 times. I've heard it 57 times. I couldn't find the number that you are 57 times more likely to be hospitalized or die from COVID. I couldn't find a source for it anywhere, right, Tokunawan? And that's how it started. I was going, can someone find this?
Right. And we thought it was crazy because you were like, 10 times? It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
and then
like
I walked in this morning and I'm like, what? 57?
Well, he said both.
Yeah.
Just today you're 10 times more likely to die from COVID if you're unvaccinated. Did I say 10? I meant 57. I'm sorry. I have a mild cold.
Whoopsie.
Crazy.
Oh, you have a mild cold, so your 57 sound like 10s. Correct.
It's the most insane number I've ever heard.
Yeah. Well,
there's no way to back that.
Well, here he is saying it, and they run it like a morphine drip on CNN.
People who are not fully vaccinated are 8 times more likely to test positive, 41 times more likely to be hospitalized, and 57 times more likely to die compared to people who are vaccinated.
Okay. What? I know, it seems crazy, right? Dave's like, there's no way. Way.
Everything that guy just says bullshit.
I am the law. So,
did you see my movie?
Did you see it? Did you see my pitch?
How about my baseball card?
It's a blockbuster.
From Topps.
It's on Disney Plus.
The graded 10.
So the 57 figure, I finally found where it comes from.
Okay.
Comes from patient data from one county. I know what you're thinking.
Really?
3, 4, 5? No,
Now it's
one
77.
county.
77 on that one because they go all the way back to the beginning of the pandemic.
What?
Yeah, just take a county and just
King County in
extrapolate it across the
Washington.
country. That works.
King County in Washington, which, little side note, actually was named after a former vice president who was like vice president for 6 weeks. And,
William King.
Oh, it was William King. And then
not Rodney.
they took it away, and then they were like, no, wait. It was named after Martin Luther King. That's why it's King.
Yeah.
No, it's all
Liars.
theirs.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So we can trust their data.
They don't even know why their city's called what it is.
I don't even know. So here's the thing, too. So it comes from one county, to be clear. And then I'm going to give you studies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? We're going to go through some. Here's the thing. I understand that there are many studies. What I'm telling you is there is conflicting data out there. It is dishonest to pick one study with arguably some of the most flawed methodology and certainly not the most controlled study. This isn't a trial of any kind, right? Which is what they've said that we needed to test the efficacy of drugs. But now all of a sudden they're just taking a generalized study of a much smaller county. Well, how about one of an entire country? How about one where you have it controlled? Instead, this is where that number comes from. And by the way, it comes from him picking a specific rolling 30-day average where he could find the worst numbers.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is from the totality of the pandemic or even just the most recent numbers. He specifically said one county, one 30-day window, and that's the number that has been echoed on every single network as though it's the science. Okay, so something else too before we get into the other numbers. 57 times more likely to die. Who are we talking about? Are we talking about young, healthy people? Are we talking about old people? Are we talking about the obese, where you're 3 times more likely? I've read everywhere from, hey, look, I can play these numbers too. I've read everywhere if you're obese that you're 3 times more likely to 2,403 times more likely to die from COVID. Where I get it, I'm pretty sure there's an island somewhere off of Maine, and that I don't know. They have like 5 people. They all died.
Right.
And they were all fat.
Aaron Brockovich County.
Yes. The data doesn't include natural immunity.
Right.
It just completely omits breakthrough data and age. Couldn't find any of the breakthrough data with the vaccine, so I don't even know how they're doing it as a comparison. And again, all sources are available at louderwithcrowder.com. Look, the past 30 days, 27% of all deaths have been breakthrough cases.
Wow.
And then 72% of all deaths are in people who are over the age of 60, to be clear. These numbers matter when you add them up. If you are not an old person, the number goes down dramatically. And then you look at the vaccination rate. Look, it's lower. I'm not going to say that it's not lower. 27%. It's not 57 times. That's the point of this here.
Yeah.
And there's a strong argument to be made that the further you get away from the vaccine right now, we're seeing immunity wane. That's a huge concern that we're seeing. And we're seeing this in national studies at large in the population of people who are beyond 3, 4, 5 months from the vaccine. He doesn't mention this.
Yeah, and this was about 2 weeks ago that he quoted that 57 number. So I guarantee if he looks it up today, King County is like he's got it marked in his browser so he can go back and pull it up. This dashboard.
And the number is going to probably get lower where it's going to be going down like Ed Rooney's attendance days in Ferris Bueller.
Right. So one thing I thought was really interesting, we're talking about deaths. Fauci is out there talking about deaths from people who are unvaccinated, right? That's the number that he's using to try to scare us. He gave us the 41% and the other thing. I want to read to you this dashboard that we pulled up. The first part, it said COVID-19 vaccines are highly effective at preventing serious illness.
Where's this from?
This is from the King County
Oh, it says
website.
straight from the king's mouth.
From the same report that we're quoting, and I read it and was just like, what? So great at preventing serious illness, hospitalization, and death. However, since no vaccine is 100% protective, as more people are vaccinated, we expect to see more cases in the group, even when vaccines continue to work. So what they're saying is, these cases are often called breakthrough infections, although the vast majority are not serious, for example, blah, blah, blah. They don't want you to look at hospitalizations and deaths as a number to see if vaccination is working. So they say that right there. A much better measure of how well vaccines are working is the relative risk of vaccinated and unvaccinated.
Color
just getting
wheel.
infected.
Yeah.
Right? Just getting infected.
As opposed to
then,
deaths.
In the same sentence, they go, back to, among vaccinated people and unvaccinated people of the same age, we see the risk of catching COVID-19 and being hospitalized, of dying is far higher for people. So they go on and they say, don't talk about deaths, talk about infection rate. And they go, and by the way, if you don't get vaccinated, you're much more likely to die.
Are
It's
you
really scary?
Are you too,
I read a lot
Gerald
there.
Morgan,
Sorry.
questioning the science, questioning me?
I am. Sorry. So
The knife.
don't use deaths.
100%
Then he only used
dead
deaths.
people are dead.
Yeah.
That was
We really should have a Jim Morrison clip of
Like,
break
what about
on through.
Lazarus?
We use that.
Don't get smart.
He
All
came
right.
back.
East Flint, Michigan still got poison water?
I don't know.
Nobody
Who cares?
I'm just saying.
I'm pitching for the Mets tonight.
I feel like there's lots of things we should fix.
Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets.
I'm gonna girl throw. Not a good girl
Is
throw.
she still moving? Throw some peanuts at that Cirque du Soleil bitch. She stopped moving.
Help!
All right.
What a great town.
So let's look at other data. Okay, 57 times. Look,
I'm going kayaking on Piss River. Sorry.
So let's look at the other data. This discrepancy tends to be much smaller. Even at the CDC, what do they say? They say that you're 5 to 11 times more likely to die if you haven't been vaccinated. Okay, all right. Well, that seems bad, but not 57 times. Scotland, 2 to 4 times they claim more likely to die.
Roughly.
Carolina, 15 times. Then you have the Israeli study that says naturally infected patients are 27 times less likely to be reinfected. My point here is this. They are very, very inconsistent across the board because right now, in the middle of this surge of kind of data and the pandemic, it's really difficult to control for variables. However, outside of one very small study from King County, I have not found anything close to that 57 rate, not even in the same Mets ballpark. Let's be really clear about something else, too. They've sort of shifted, like I said, the goalpost from infections to deaths, hospitalizations, right? This is what matters to with the vaccine.
Yeah.
They said, let me ask you this. Okay, let's cut through the bullshit. What did they tell you when they first sold you on the vaccine? Take the vaccine, what was supposed to happen?
We weren't supposed to have the cases anymore.
You wouldn't get sick,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't reinfect. Were vaccinated people supposed to be carriers?
No.
No. Shedders?
No.
Symptomatic? No. Now they're like, well, hold on a second. Take the vaccine and you won't be hospitalized. You won't die. It's not possible. 27%. Right now, at this moment in time, 27% of deaths are people who are vaccinated. Let's be clear about that. I'm not saying that it's better off to be unvaccinated. I would argue, and I can't say this on YouTube, from the data I see, it's better off to have achieved natural immunity. Now, I'm not saying you should bug chase COVID. I'm just saying that we should take that into account when we're discussing vaccinations. But the goalposts keep moving, and you can be guaranteed that they will move tomorrow. So Waterford County, for example, in Ireland, these are some other case studies. They have 98.5% vaccination rate. They have the highest incidence of cases in Ireland.
In their city.
In Waterford City.
Waterford County. How do you explain that? 98.5% of the people are vaccinated. You have the highest cases per day in Waterford City.
Well, they don't have as many deaths.
It seems like they're almost named after each other. Waterford City, Waterford County, probably the biggest city there. Come on.
How does a virus even live in your body when you're that drunk all the time?
Yeah.
That's a fair point, Dave.
Fight it off.
With Guinness. I love that they're making this point in that same study. They have Clare County. They're saying Clare County has the lowest rate right now. It's like 11th out of 26 counties as far as vaccination rate. It's like, you're not making the point you think you're making.
No, you're not
guys.
making the point that you think you're making. And by the way,
just admit it's not even a vaccine.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It's a failure.
That's why people are mad. You're mad that you took something that doesn't work how you thought it was going to work. Not saying it doesn't work at all. It certainly didn't stop you from getting it, from transmitting it. And you know what? It doesn't last that long.
Well, Johnson & Johnson's new slogan is 3% of the time it works all the time.
Yes, 3%.
Yeah.
The chief epidemiologist, by the way, of Iceland, bastion of conservatism, they admitted that vaccines have quote, failed to create herd immunity. Dr. Deborah Conrad of New York Hospital, she said in a letter to HHS that New York City had a 50% community vaccination rate, but 90% of COVID hospital admissions were vaccinated. The European Journal of Epidemiology says increases in COVID-19 are unrelated to levels of vaccination across 68 countries and 2,947 counties in the United States. So here's the thing. Dr. Fauci says you're 57 times more likely to die if you're unvaccinated. Where are you getting that from? One county? Well, I think that 2,946. Can you follow the math? That's more than one. Yes, correct.
Yeah, but it's not named after a former vice president.
My science almost looks shitty by comparison.
But you're scared, right?
Yeah, it worked. Treat. Boom.
Halloween?
Boom. It's me and Medea. That's a licensing thing. Ignore.
No.
So of the top 5 countries that have the highest percentage of the population fully vaccinated, the CDC identifies 4 of them as high transmission counties. Now, here's a reminder, too. Pfizer, The Pfizer efficacy is now, if you are at this far out from your second dose, as low as 20% a few months out, and the Johnson & Johnson is as low as 3%.
But just make sure you take your Pfizer-Mectin.
Yeah. If you go out right now, you're going to go, let me send you into Chaz in the middle of night at 2 a.m. with a 3% bulletproof vest.
How would you like to have your car break down? You look up, you see a sign for high transmission county.
Yes.
I think we should just send you into Chaz. I think you're now 3% bulletproof.
I'm 3% bulletproof.
This is so insane.
I bet you actually these titanium rods protect me against bullets more than 3%. So, in other words, look at this. Look at the rods in my chest, which you can see. That's more effective than your Johnson & Johnson after 3 months.
I have rods in my knee.
Good for you.
Yeah, 3 of them. It ain't like you.
Spending too much time on them.
Well, that's what it was.
Oh, hey, went on paternity leave.
Talk about blowing out a knee. Hey, you know what I mean?
So, look, we have to get going. We're going to go to Mug Club, to people here who are watching on Rumble. Thank you so much. But let me be really clear about this. I am not making, and this is something that really scares me, is we're not allowed to discuss this on YouTube right now. This would be considered creating vaccine hesitancy.
Yeah.
It's, you might be creating vaccine. They're actually saying now you can't mention that Colin Powell was double vaccinated. Not YouTube, but other websites saying that may create vaccine hesitancy. You know what? If reporting on the actual numbers of the vaccine creates vaccine hesitancy, at a certain point, maybe the problem isn't the people who've died, who've been double vaxxed. Maybe it isn't the problem of theirs, right? The numbers are grossly underreported. By every objective measure, that's what doctors have said is the most likely scenario. If there's vaccine hesitancy, maybe it isn't the problem of people like me reporting on, 4,200 more counties than Fauci mentioned in one. Maybe if at this point in time, in October 2021, if there is vaccine hesitancy, the problem with it is you. It's your product. All right, we're going to go talk about John Travolta conspiracy theory on Mug Club.
Yeah.
Smash that Rumble button right now before we go.
It's
the only thing I ask of you, you
Gotta hit it.
freeloaders, don't be a Fauci. And if this were YouTube, it's where I tell them to piss off.